Ah, here I am. I just wasn't sure if the live was going to work on Facebook today. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Thursday Quick Wins. I live for virtual assistants to try and help you build the business that you're going to absolutely love and get the most freedom out of. Um, so I should be on YouTube and I should be on Facebook right now, but it's always really tricky trying to actually see any comments on Facebook for some reason. Do leave them and I will answer them as soon as I can. I'm just opening a separate screen to see if I can see them. Um, it's a bit of a nightmare. So, uh, yeah, I should be live on Facebook. I can't see any reason why not. Um, yeah, should be live. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you today about how to create bespoke packages so that you can earn more as a virtual assistant. You'll hear lots of advice as a VA about how you should set up your packages. And I'm guilty of giving advice too, and I think it's valuable advice. And I do believe that charging in packages is much better than charging on invoice. And the reason for that, as you all know, because I talk about it all the time, is that charging on invoice is so risky. It doesn't guarantee you a payment. It means that people can just get away with not paying you. And a lot of VAs are still doing this, which is really crazy to me, that there's some VAs that are still letting clients pay on invoice. But it doesn't protect you. It doesn't protect your capacity. You don't know where you are, and you're having to keep that time available for someone who might not even pay you. So packages protect that, and I really do advocate for packages. But you have to be able to know what your value is in order to charge correctly. So, for example, when we started with 5 hour packages because it was a great entry point for clients who were nervous. And to be honest with you, they were kind of our ideal clients at the start. We wanted to be able to help the smaller guys, the people that excuse me, probably didn't have the income potential. So it suited our demographic, and it was a really good stepping stone to get them into bigger packages as time went on. So we offered 5 hours, and it was a selling point because not all VAs were offering 5 hours. Now we don't. So our target market has completely changed. Offering 5 hours now for us completely devalues what we are doing. So we have a minimum term of 10 hours. So people have to pay for 10 hours support to work with us. And that's just the way it is. And so, because we know our value, we can do that. We can say that we're only going to work with clients on 10 hours and immediately increase our revenue. Because if we're only having clients on 10 hours and that's the minimum, it automatically doubles what we were doing before. Now, the other thing is that you can get really stuck on these 5 hours, 10 hours, 15-hour packages. But actually, there's no reason why you can't make those packages more bespoke to your client in a number of ways. Let's say that you've got a client that is on 10 hours a month, but they are persistently running out of time. They run out of time every single month. And what you should be, excuse me, should be doing if that happens is you should be making them top up if they want to, of course, unless they want to wait. You should be making them top up at a pay as you go rate, which costs a lot more than if they stuck to a package. You have to have measures built in to encourage clients, so incentives to encourage them to take the next step. So if you're going to allow clients to top up hours, and it's going to cost exactly the same per hour as the package, there's no incentive for your client to ever upgrade. So please don't do that. For example, if a client of ours is on a Simply Admin plan at £36 per month, but they want to top up, it's going to cost them £60. Same as the gap's a little bit smaller for people on like marketing, it's £55 per hour, but they're still going to have to pay 60 to top up. So the incentive is there for them to instead stop topping up and just add on a few more hours and make that their new package. So instead of trying to get a client to move from 10 to 15, 15 to 20, You can get clients from 10 hours to 12 hours or 13 hours, and you can just create that bespoke package for them. You can even say, look, I'm willing to do a bespoke package just for you as a value client. Normally would recommend that you move from 5 to 10 or from 10 to 15, but I can see that's difficult for you, and so I want to be there to support you. What about a 12-hour package? I would be um, I would be encouraging you actually to have this mindset that for every hour that you think they need, add one on. So if you think they need an extra two, tell them they need an extra three. And because creating buffer time allows you to reset, to put admin time in after calls with that client, make notes and that kind of thing, which you should be getting paid for. So you can create this new bespoke package and you can sell it to your clients in a way that obviously this is going to be a massive cost saving compared to the constant topping up that you're currently doing at £60 per hour or whatever it is for you. And you can even show examples of how much that's going to cost them over the year and really start to make them understand the benefit. So I would be saying if you are quite stuck and regimented on your packages, think about why you're doing that. Is it helping? Are people moving up from 5 to 10 hours? Or could you create bespoke packages for your clients? I'm just going to check, see if there's any comments anywhere, but I'm not completely sure this is properly streaming on Facebook. I'm hoping it really is. And I really want to share it, but I can't for some reason, which is a bit crap. I'm just going to pop it over here just in case, and then we'll talk a little bit more about bespoke packages. Okay, one moment. I don't know if it's bloody working. It's so flipping annoying because it should really stream to the page and that doesn't feel like it's happening. Sorry, I'll just share this afterwards and then you've got it, but I'll get this right eventually. I might even just start inviting you all to my studio in Riverside, which would be a lot easier. Okay, so where was I? Now, other packages that you can also think about are one-off packages. So these can be great, almost springboards. So if you could think about at your top level like an umbrella of the entry packages that could then lead to subscriptions, you're onto a winner. So we do this now. We've now navigated to the online business management space and strategy. So we have a strategic blueprint, a launch blueprint, a marketing strategy. So it's called a business strategy blueprint, a launch strategy blueprint, a marketing strategy blueprint, and it gets systemized in a day. These are our core one-off consultations. And on the back of that, the main one is the business strategy. We can then say to the client, okay, now we think you need this bespoke project support. So we just got a client for £6,000 on the back of this. We're not then, for some clients, they will just need to go straight in down the subscription VA route. And for some clients, it will need to be project based support. And so by having that entry of an offer that feels cost effective to the client because they're not signing up for regular support at that point, they're just signing up for like your advice or your strategy consultation or your one-off service. It will always allow you to be able to create a proposal for that client because there will always be additional work that you can offer them. And so that's what we do now. And on the back of that, we send a proposal after we've delivered their strategy. We actually pitch it to them live. So we do a like pitch deck of the strategy that we've delivered. And then at the end of it, we say, this is what we think you need to do to be able to implement this with our support. They can take it or leave it. Most clients take it. And then for some clients, we're going to recommend they go onto VA support. And for some, we're going to recommend that they need a project. And that's how you can earn more money because what you can do is you can create a bespoke package. The client never really needs to see the hours. You can build those hours in as you see fit. So I charge £85 per hour buried in to a bespoke project. So I just estimate how many hours that's going to take. It means that I can't then say to the client, you've run out of hours, but you're putting a lot more in, a lot more buffer time in, a lot more management time to create that much bigger package. So I'll give you an example. So we did that for a client before Christmas. They couldn't afford it at the time. They've since come back and signed up. We have allowed them to spread the cost over 3 months because all of our projects are 3 months. So they came in with a strategic blueprint. We offered them a bespoke package of £6,000. They accepted that on a monthly basis. And then on the back of that, when that's complete, they're already signing up for accountability coaching sessions with me. That's £150 a time. And we can upsell them the subscription VA support. I did a marketing strategy for a client last week. This is £499. On the back of that strategy, when I deliver it to him tomorrow, he will get a proposal for our VA support. So this won't be a project implementation, it will be ongoing support. There may be an initial one off getting set up project that I'll probably put in there, but then it will be VA support. So these are other ways that you can make bespoke packages work for you by charging more for those services, but also seeing them as an entry level point into your consistent monthly subscriptions. And it's a really good way of thinking about how you can partner with associate VAs. So, how you could start working with VAs who have got the skills you don't have. So, if you want to be able to offer something like maybe a client comes to you for a strategy session, if that's what you're going to offer, but you don't have any tech skills, that's fine. Your team does, and you start to build out your team on on an associate based model. So my advice to summarize is to make sure no matter what you're not charging on invoice, to be offering packages, to think really strategically about your value. And if you are a new VA or you have limited services, offering 5 hours is fine. But if you scrap that and you go for a minimum of 10 hours, then you instantly double your potential. We have a client. We had a client come through recently. This is the kind of conversation you have with some clients, right? Because they don't understand the price to begin with, and we used to tell people the price, and now we don't. We say we'll send you a proposal because we want to hear everything they've got to say, and then we're going to send them a bespoke proposal. And one of these clients, they said, "Oh, I need about 10 hours a week," and I always sit there and think, when they see the bill for what 10 hours a week is, they're probably going to change their mind. So I put a caveat to that in. When I do the proposal, I say, but you can just get started at this. Now, in my mind, for that client, I was going to say like 10 hours, but then I said 15 instead, and that's what he signed up to. So if you're thinking 10, say 15. If you're thinking 15, say 20. You can always go back down. So I had somebody reach out to me this week. They have asked if they can do an hour with me for advice. I have encouraged them instead to sign up for the marketing strategy because that's what I believe they need, which is £499. They don't feel like they can afford that, so I've offered it to be split over 2 months. I'm protected by that because it's delivered over 2 sessions, so they just get one session 1 month and one the next. And then only when I know that time is right do I say, or the alternative is you can have a coaching hour with me for £150 instead. But I've learnt so much about myself that I know not to give away too much value. I'm not trying to hold back, but I'm not also going to give full on strategy in that hour that I would give as part of the marketing strategy. So I want you to think about your value and think about whether your value is shining through in the packages that you're currently charging and whether it could be optimized by changing your minimum terms. Think about not being so stringent on 5 hours, 10 hours, 15, 20, and then instead creating bespoke packages 12, 13, whatever it needs to be for the client. And then thinking about how you can further monetize on those packages as well. So if you're currently just offering a standalone 5 hours, 10 hours, 15, 20, but it's not buried into any significant sort of support, you could be making more money if you split that out. So we have Simply Admin, and that costs clients £36 per hour. And then we have admin plus marketing and admin plus tech. And if they have that, it means that they're not just getting admin, they're getting those services. It's £55 per hour. And they have to move to that plan. So if they're Over here in Simply Admin, and they're starting to add more on, we move them straight over. You have to pay the right fee for the right kind of services, and we pass that fee on by paying a fair wage to our associates. So that would be my advice on how you can change the way you are selling your packages so that you can earn more. If you just joined and you didn't watch this from the beginning, play it back. I'm going to share the link on Facebook now, and I will be back next week, same time, every Thursday, 12:45 till 1, to talk to you about some quick wins for your virtual assistant